what I did was I took a lot of questions from the first interview that we did. I don't think I got to half of them. And then I've also mixed in a load of fan questions as well.
Great.
Over 100 came in, so hopefully we've got some good ones for you. And this is some pre-WCW stuff. Sunview asks, he wants me to ask you about your time in the Continental Territory in 1988, where you tag teamed with the rookie Sid Vicious. I never knew this.
Yeah. My memories of that time were just a lot of fun. We weren't making huge money, but for the baby faces, we were making a lot of money on merchandise. Every week, we did these towns every week, and we, for the faces, we were able to sell, 500, 600, 700, 800, up to 1,000 in merch, and we were home pretty much every night. Saturday nights we would do Dothan, Alabama, which is like a 5-hour drive. We could have gotten home, but we would stay down there because there was a great club down there called Cowboys, where the guys would all hang out. Tracy, Steve, oh my God, there was Sika, Alan Jackson. I mean, there were so many guys there. And we had a great time because it was pretty much like going to work 9 to 5. You go to the building, come wrestle, come back, back at the at your apartment later that night. It was a lot of fun, but it was a great learning experience for me because Eddie Gilbert, who gave me my break in UWF, had gone to Continental, and he had big visions for getting that up and running, and then running with Fuller, who would run Knoxville, and bringing them together. And so it seemed like a good plan to me, and I really, really trusted in Eddie's booking. But he started having us do these vignettes when Sid was under the humongous mask.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until much later that he was making me privy as to why we were doing these promos. We'd do a promo where he would make a save. I'd be getting beaten up in the ring and he'd make the save. And one time he gets ink thrown in his eyes and I make the save. But there was never any explanation as to what was this connection. And right at the very tail end, I keep talking. He has me starting to do promos where I'm mentioning cousin Hugo. And we were supposedly family. And he was like the black sheep of the family type of thing. And unbeknownst to me, this was Hugo under the mask. And unfortunately, I ended up moving on to NWA before we really got to play that completely out. I remember with Sid, I get along great with Sid, but it's just those things that stick out in your mind. We were in Columbus, Mississippi, weekly town we ran, and he's in. Now remember, the dressing rooms now are kayfabe, right? You can't talk to your opponent until you're in the ring. And he's telling me that he wants to do like all these head scissors and kip ups, and we're like, guy, you're a 7-foot monster. Like, don't do that, right? And he wants to do a spot where he has Sika, the wild Samoan, get down on all fours like Schoolboy, have Alan Jackson push him, and he takes the bump over Sika. I said, yeah, don't say that. Don't try to do that spot. See, like, first of all, Sika's never going to do that, right? And plus, it's not people our stature to tell somebody like Sika what to do in the ring. So I see him in the ring. He's got Sika in the corner. He's choking him, and I can see the mask going up and down like this. I'm, oh crap! Call him the spot, right? So he leaves Sika, and he thinks Sika's coming over to get down behind him, right? And Alan gets up in position for the punch, and Alan had arms this big around, comes off and throws this really lame punch, and Sid just timbers like a tree, right? Meanwhile, Sika's standing over in the corner with his legs crossed, watching this. And the whole building went completely silent, I guess thinking like Hugo had a heart attack or something. He's just there, just down. And I don't think Sid was happy about that, but lesson learned.
I heard an amazing Sid fact just before, and did you know that in the 1999 in WCW, you were there at the time, Sid got out of a match with Van Hammer by claiming he had allergies?
Really?
Yes, and
I learned stuff on this. Yeah, the other Sid story and you probably heard this one, it's sort of renowned, is we were at the Ramada in College Park, south of the Atlanta airport, where we all pretty much lived. The lady there that ran it, Delane, she was a sweetheart. She took care of us like a mother. It really gave us an easy time. But we were always hanging out at the bar there afterwards, and Sid and Brian Pillman got into it. Now, Brian was a pretty salty kid, played in the NFL, and because he was always smaller, wasn't afraid to fight up bigger, right? And he and Sid went at it, got into it like words, and Sid left. A few minutes later, Sid comes back in, and he has a squeegee. And he wants to fight Brian with a squeegee. It's what are you going to clean him to death? It's just strange to see this 7-foot guy, and Brian is like 5'9", 5'10", with a squeegee.
Now I've got something to throw at you here. Barry Windham I interviewed 2 weeks ago. He said it wasn't Brian Pillman, it was Mike Graham and the squeegee. But was that a separate incident?
I'm positive it happened with Brian. Is it possible that it was? I just saw Barry. I have to ask Barry his take on it, because the bar was always full of people, and it was like across the bar watching. I assume, because I know Brian went outside waiting for him. Interesting. I wonder if it did happen again.
Oh, you've got to get back to me and what if the squeegee was his go-to for more than one fight? That'd be fantastic.